We're going to talk about dealer ethics. And, obviously it goes with operating your dealership. But if you don't operate strictly under all state and federal guidelines, your dealer license can be quickly revoked. And, you may not be aware of this, but once you've had a dealer's license revoked, it is very, very hard to get it back. Also, once you have a dealer's license in one state revoked, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to obtain a license in another state. Most other state dealer applications will ask if you've ever had lost a dealer's license in any state. If you've lost a license in one state, it may be impossible to ever have a license again. You cannot lose your license in one state and think that you can begin operations in another state. That's not how it works. I cannot stress the importance of operating with complete honesty and integrity at all times. You'll make much, much more money over the long run by operating your dealership with the highest ethical standards possible. It'd be very easy to run your dealership, buy 10 cars with bad transmissions, sell them to your customers without disclosing the vehicle's problems. Obviously, you would have made a very large amount of money in a very short period of time. But as soon as your customers start making complaints to the state or file legal recourse against you, you will lose your dealer's license very quickly. If you had your license suspended or revoked, it's very, very hard to regain a suspended license. Many states never allow a person who's had a dealer's license suspended or revoked to ever hold a license in that state again. In the past, I've sold many vehicles on eBay, and eBay has, obviously, what you're aware of, it's called a feedback system. Every time you sell a vehicle, your buyer is allowed to leave feedback based on that transaction. If you describe the vehicle accurately and made sure the customer had a pleasant buying experience, your customer will leave you positive feedback. The more positive feedbacks you get, the more likely future customers will make a purchase from you. If you have several negative feedbacks, many customers will not purchase vehicles from you since they anticipate that you are dishonest and cannot be trusted. This same feedback concept used by eBay can easily be transferred to the day-to-day operations of your dealership. When a customer purchases a vehicle off your lot and has a positive buying experience, they will tell several people. As you gain many positive customer experiences, you will have one of the best reputations in your area. If your customer has a negative buying experience from your dealership, they're going to tell many, many more people, which will give your dealership a negative reputation. Negative reputations lead to negative sales. So I want to make sure, I have also learned that dealers with the best reputations also have the highest priced vehicles. And there's a reason for this is customer trust. Once you've gained a positive, trusting reputation in your area, you can actually ask more for your vehicles. A car purchase is one of the largest investments your customers will make, and they want to make sure they're doing business with someone that they can trust, such as you. When potential customers know you are running an honest business, they will have much more confidence in the purchase. They will actually be willing to pay more for a vehicle because they know they are buying it from a business that they trust. A customer will trust more of an investment with an honest dealer such as you that has been in business for years instead of a crooked dealer that just started down the street and is lying to every single customer that comes in the door. Being completely honest with your customers is a win-win situation. When you have lots of happy customers, you will have the best reputation in town. You're going to have the highest profits. You will sleep great at night, and you're going to be in business for many, many years. You should work hard to earn your customers positive feedback, so they're going to tell their friends, family, their coworkers about the positive experience that they had in your dealership. The more positive feedbacks your customers spread about your dealership, the more business that you are going to attract in the future. So this is definitely a win-win situation. Always remember how important positive feedback is to your dealership. It's crucial that you know that positive feedback can help you run your dealership. You also need to be aware of full vehicle disclosure. To maintain your honest reputation, you must offer full disclosure on all vehicles before the sale. Always disclose any minor mechanical malfunction that you're aware of before the test drive. By disclosing everything you know about a vehicle before the test drive, you are going to build an incredible reputation for your dealership in your area. If a car's pulling to the left and making noise in the rear end, I would tell this to the customer before the test drive. Sometimes a customer may look at you like you're from another planet. They might be thinking, why is this car dealer telling me everything that is wrong with the vehicle? because it builds great credibility and it's going to help you avoid fraudulent transactions. Also, your customer will find these issues out as soon as he or she takes that vehicle for a test drive. By disclosing this information before the test drive, you're building your honest reputation, letting your customer know that you have absolutely nothing to hide. If you knew about these mechanical issues and did not disclose them to your customer, you could be involved in a fraudulent transaction, and that's absolutely not acceptable. By operating your dealership with complete honesty and the highest ethical standards at all times, you're going to gain an honest reputation that will lead to many, many more sales than that of a dishonest dealer. As a dishonest dealer, your reputation is going to spread like wildfire, and once you're known as an unethical dealer, it will be very next to impossible to discard your dishonest reputation. I also want you to be aware of the attempt to gain a commission by fraud rule. Most states have a strict rule that may be called something like the attempt to gain a commission by fraud rule. Anytime you attempt to put money in your pocket during a motor vehicle transaction by lying, deception, or under false pretenses, you are attempting to gain a commission by fraud. This is a violation of federal and state law. If any dealer attempts to gain a commission by fraud, they will be subject to suspension or automatic revocation of their dealer's license, which is obviously, as discussed earlier, something that we always want to avoid. There are many actions that could fall under this rule. You might run a false or deceptive advertisement. If you do that, you're attempting to gain a commission by fraud. If you tell a customer the transmission is perfect when you know the transmission is slipping, you are attempting to gain a commission by fraud. If you buy a car from a person with a blank title, thereby purchasing that vehicle from someone other than the person whose name appears on the title, you are attempting to gain a commission by fraud. Our state's been dealing with unscrupulous dealers for many years, and as stated earlier, they know every trick in the book. The best thing you can do in this business is to operate with complete integrity and the very highest ethical standards that are possible. Remember how important it is to fully disclose every known mechanical issue during every transaction, no matter how minor that mechanical issue may be. I also want you to be aware, we have many reasons for suspension and revocation of a dealer's license. It's really quite easy to get a dealer's license in the state. You just have to, jump through a few simple hurdles, send in some paperwork, and then you're granted a dealer's license. It's really not that hard. Just got to follow a few easy, simple steps and guidelines to get a dealer's license. Just as easy as it is to gain a dealer's license, you may also have your license suspended or permanently revoked. Once you have a license suspension or revocation, the state makes it extremely difficult to get that license back. Many dealers who have lost their licenses try to regain a new license under someone else's name, such as a close friend or relative. Obtaining a license under another person's name under misleading pretenses is absolutely illegal in every state in the United States, including ours. Here are some of the reasons that could cause your dealer's license to be suspended or revoked. Your license was revoked in the past and was never reissued, or the terms of a previous license suspension were not met. You may fail to maintain dealer insurance on your inventory. The state requires you to have dealer insurance if you have an active dealer's license. Even if you have periods of no inventory in your possession, you must have financial responsibility on your inventory at all times. If you file a false or misleading statement on your dealer license application, that's fraudulent. You cannot do that. If you fail to operate your bona fide motor vehicle dealership and you're not at your dealership during your posted hours, you're not operating a bona fide motor vehicle dealership. If you fail to pay your proper yearly licensure fees, or if you ever loan out or allow your dealer license plates to be used by someone that's not affiliated by your dealership, with your dealership, is absolutely against state law. If you use any false or misleading advertising to bring customers into your dealership, that's fraudulent sales activity. Conviction of any federal motor vehicle law, such as transporting drugs across state lines, or if you're found guilty of any offense involving violence, fraud, moral crimes, embezzlement, or dishonesty, making a profit on a vehicle by fraud, misrepresentation, deception, or by lying to a customer. Operating under another person's dealer's license is also against the law. It is very easy for you to keep your license. If you operate your dealership with complete integrity and compliance, you will keep this dealer's license for many, many years. And there are many profits to be had in this industry. We just need to follow a few very simple sets and guidelines from the state.